my friends, Coach JC here with Bootcamp Tulsa, and I am super excited. We are rocking it out here. We are in full effect in January in our Win for Life Challenge. And if you're out there, you know this is our big month. We are giving away the largest prize ever in Bootcamp Tulsa history. Yeah. And one lady at the end of January will drive away in a Mercedes-Benz.
And who wouldn't love that?
Come on, girl. You know all about it. But hey, I'm here with my friend. You're probably wondering, who is this beautiful lady you're standing next to, Coach JC? So I want to introduce her. This is Miss Heidi. Okay? Now I'm going to brag on her just a little. Mrs. Oklahoma.
This is Oklahoma International 2010.
Come on. And then Mrs. International, first runner-up.
Yes.
2010?
Yes, first runner-up, Mrs. International 2010. So I get to take those titles home with me forever, which I'm very excited and blessed about. So
I love it, and I will be getting an autograph at the end.
Oh, for sure.
So, hey, here's what I want to introduce you to Heidi for. Okay, basically, you know that there's 4 ways for you to tally up points and for you to win the Mercedes-Benz and our giveaway in this Win for Life Challenge. And the 4th pillar that we talk about is giving back, bringing your friends. And for every friend you bring, you know that we have teamed up with the American Heart Association, and we're going to give back $1 for every head that is brought out for the month of January. So I'm here with Heidi, and she is a huge advocate. If you couldn't tell by rocking a heart on your shirt, unless you're doing that right now, come on, she's special. Heidi's a huge advocate for the American Heart Association, and we teamed up with them for a reason, Heidi. And basically, the bottom line is close to 3 million people. 3 million people will die each and every year, will die this year, 2014, due to health-related diseases like obesity and heart attacks and diabetes. Yep. So we want to team up with an organization that is spreading awareness and helping solve the problems out there. So I wanted Heidi just to educate you a little, as she's an advocate for the American Heart Association. Can you tell us a little about, what you do there, why you believe in it, and what the American Heart Association is all about?
Yes. Basically, first we want to say thank you that you're participating and joining up with American Heart, because it's an awesome thing. And what you were saying with obesity and diabetes and different things like that all lead to cardiovascular disease, which will cause heart attacks and strokes and different things like that. So it's a perfect pairing, and you just want to be heart healthy. I mean, that's just a very common thing that I think a lot of people take for granted. And I personally got involved with American Heart. I'm just a passionate advocate and volunteer. I'm not an employee. I'm nothing like it, strictly because I'm just very passionate about my heart and everybody's heart. And so I joined forces with them when I actually witnessed my aunt having a heart attack. We were out shopping, your typical girls' day, having a good time, and she was experiencing signs and symptoms of a heart attack that we didn't have any idea. She didn't know, I didn't know, and just proceeded to get worse and worse. And by the time she actually was feeling that weight on your chest that they say, I mean, it was literally, let's get to the hospital as fast as we can. And fortunately, she is still with us today. Very fortunate, very blessed. She fights cardiovascular disease, from this point on because of her experience. But the fact was, when I was there, and I watched it happen, and I was with her and getting her to the hospital and experiencing the recovery, it just really opened my eyes to realize that women's symptoms for heart attacks are extremely different than men. It's very common that a man is going to feel like the pain in your left arm, your heaviness on your chest. That's, I think, what a lot of people grew up with, like in your health classes and things like that in the past. I mean, that's what I remember. It was like, oh, that's a heart attack. Well, for women, it's a much different story. They might have a pain in their neck, might have a pain in their jaw or their shoulder blade. It's not necessarily going to be the left arm. They maybe just feel very flu-like, groggy, just like something's not right. And women normally will take care of everybody else before themselves, so they will push those symptoms off. Like, oh, I'm just tired, didn't get enough sleep, different things like that. But those are all things that could be leading up to a major event that you're unaware of. So it was that experience that I realized, oh my goodness, there's so many people out there that probably are like me and didn't know that this is an entirely different scenario for women versus men.
Wow.
And so that definitely got me involved, and it's why I'm still doing it, 6, 7
years later?
Years later that I've been volunteering for them.
Well, I think the question, if you're watching out there, is, and one of the reasons we teamed up with the American Heart Association, is the question is not, is there a problem?
Right.
I think there's a huge problem. We know there's a huge problem, and I think the question is, are you doing your part? And for you to be able to do your part, I think, you have to be aware. The awareness is a crucial thing.
Yes.
And I don't think people are even aware of, how severe and how critical and how pronounced heart attacks and you have any stats that you can share with us?
Yes, one of the statistics I was just about to share with you when you were finishing up on that was that the fact that 1 in 3 women will die of heart disease. So think about that. Think about 1 in 3.
Oh my gosh.
And approximately 1 a minute.
Wow.
And so think about that. Think about, how many people have moms, sisters, daughters, friends. I mean, you can name 3 people instantly. And just think about, it's a terrible thing to think about, but picture those 3, and 1 in 3 will die of heart disease. That's crazy.
Wow.
And there's only about 1 in 5 women that are believing that heart disease is a major factor. So there is a ton of education and awareness that still needs to happen. It's just, there's so much that the American Heart Association and the Go Red for Women campaign, that's their goal. They're trying to educate people, make them aware of these statistics, that heart disease for women is the #1 killer above all the cancers combined.
Wow.
Breast cancer, all the other cancers, very important. Make sure you're staying on top of all that, not discounting it at all. But remember that there's a whole other element out there that if you're not taking care of your heart, that's going to be a factor too.
Wow. Yeah, and I love that because a lot of times people, you might be watching, you come to Bootcamp Tulsa, Heidi, because they want to look great in a bathing suit, they want to lose the body fat, and it's all about the physical, but a lot of times we forget about this most important muscle. We forget about the internal. We forget about, it's about performance, quality of life, longevity. So we want to help spread awareness. We teamed up with them because we know it is a problem. I think Heidi was able to educate you today and educate me as well.
I certainly hope so.
Absolutely. And last thing I want you to do is anything else you want to share of how, if somebody's watching, we're going to do our part. We're going to keep to make Bootcamp Tulsa clients and the women aware and our followers and our readers. But what can a lady do if they say, oh my gosh, what you said today, Heidi, resonates with me. I want to help out. I want to team up. Yeah, I'm bringing friends out to boot camp and we're donating $1 per head. But is there another way I can get involved? Is there a way that other ladies can get involved, like you got involved, and help spread awareness?
Yes.
What can they do?
Most certainly you can do things like partnering with you, attending boot camp, obviously a donation being made there, very simple, and you're being heart healthy by getting active. Also, we'll always open to volunteers and people willing to spread the word with the American Heart Association. Just contact your local American Heart Association chapter. Whether you're here in Tulsa or you tell your friends anywhere else, if they want to get involved too, just contact your American Heart Association office, and they will be happy to get your information, find out what you're willing to do, how much time you're willing to put in, all of those things, and put you to work. And honestly, I would even say you don't even have to do that. I would like you to, don't get me wrong, but even just taking the time to take this message and share it with one other person and say, hey, I watched this video today and it made me realize that I need to be more heart healthy and I think you need to do the same. That for me is huge because that is one more person that maybe hears some more information about heart disease and women and heart disease that didn't know about it yesterday. So
that's big. And if you're part of Bootcamp Tulsa, you are doing the things necessary in your fitness, exercising, if you're following nutrition, you're doing a lot of those things. But I would encourage you, share this message. And we appreciate Heidi being here today. It's an honor and a privilege.
Thank you.
I heard Zig Ziglar, one of the greatest motivational speakers ever. Zig Ziglar once said that you can have anything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want. So we want to help them spread awareness so we can cut down and not be a statistic, cut down on these statistics. So if you can help us, remember, keep bringing the ladies out to boot camp. We're going to donate $1. Keep spreading awareness and hit Heidi up. Heidi Ducato.
Yes, Heidi Ducato, and feel free to find me through the American Heart Association or wherever.
Facebook.
If you have any questions, JC knows me. Whatever, I'm happy to help because like I said, if we can just get one more person to know about being aware and being heart healthy and making some changes in their lives, that's awesome.
Yes, I love it. Thank you, Heidi, for being here.
Thank you for having me. Have fun.
Come on, and I have one more question before I let you go today. Here it is. Hey, ladies, who's going to drive the Mercedes? Hey, Coach JC here, Bootcamp Tulsa. Help us help American Heart Association win, and we want to help you win for life. We'll get at you next time. Thank you.